Erik Darling here with Darling Data, and continuing on with more vectory nonsense. We're going to talk about why the vector search function will someday be able to make your search queries suck a little bit less. So the vector search function is a table-valued function that returns one column called distance. The inside of the function is very, very strange, at least syntactically to me, because you can't just use like position, like at least I haven't been able to get it to work with like just positional stuff, but you have a table that equals, whatever table you want to hit. You can alias that table here and then use columns from the table in here outside of the vector search function, cross apply-ish. Then we have the column in this table, right? That is a vector data type that has our vector index on it. We have the original vector that we want to compare and find things that are similar to it. And then we tell it which metric to use, which, because we're doing all similarity search, we want cosine. And then we have to give it a top number of rows to pull out. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this at the end of the video, but this is an odd duck to me. So this is like sort of the basic breakdown of it. Now, what we're going to do is just search a little bit and just kind of look at a query plan for one using the vector search function against our full post embeddings table, just to find 10 rows, right? So obviously this stuff is all in there. It's kind of weird is that like you can't alias this, right? If you say like pe.embedding, it's like, nah, I don't know you, right? Like what? It's a little bit odd that that's a thing there, but what can you do? Oh, green screen. Never knew you cared. So we run this query. We will see our vector index in use, and you can see that you can actually seek into a vector index, which is going to be great. What's kind of weird is that you always get a one row guess out of the vector index, which is maybe not great. Like I've messed around with this and it's always one row. And you get this new vector index seek icon, which looks a little bit like someone sitting down doing something lewd, but I don't know, maybe that's just my Rorschach test. But the only column that you get back, see I did vs.star and this is aliased as vs, the only column you get back is this distance column from there. If you want other columns, they have to either be in the table you store your where your embeddings are, or like you have to join off to another table. So for example, if we wanted to get information from the actual post table for like rows that matched with the post embeddings table, we could join again, the syntax is very odd. You can join like the table that you reference in here outside over here. I mean, it's kind of like cross apply-ish, but it's just like an odd thing to see. So now we can get like base table data out and also, search for similar embeddings at the same time. So it does take a little bit more there. Now, again, like to start, you're going to want, not because of the vector index thing, but to start, you're probably going to want to keep your embeddings in a different table with like a foreign key that maintains the primary key from whatever table your text data lives in. Because you really don't want to bloat out your main table with all the embedding stuff. It's pretty big right now, and there's not really like a great compression story for it, especially if it's like all in like some historical legacy base table. Like new tables you could create column store indexes on, but like the old ones, it's not good. So let's just do a brief comparison here between vector distance and vector search. All right, so we'll run these two queries and we'll get some timing from them because timing is important, right? So the vector search, just for a small table, takes about a second right here. And the vector search is about 16 milliseconds. And of course, that's exactly that's sort of exactly what you would expect. Because being able to seek into an index, even if it's a vector index that takes a long time to create, only ever gives you a one row estimate and makes your table read only, at least it still gives you a faster query. Whereas with vector distance, you don't get that. And what's interesting, I think, about this query plan is like I expected to see like a filter operator way later in the query plan for the vector distance, but this one, it shows up at the nested loops join, right? Like this is where we do our filtering. Because I had stuck vector index in a where clause up here. There we go. right? So it was just like where vector distance is less than 0.2, and like just to have a number in there. And I was like, where's the filter operator? But no, there it is, sitting at the nested loops join, like a big weirdo. So I mean, I guess that's better than, you know, a lot of other things. It might result in the late filter in SQL Server, but you know, still a little funny looking. So one thing to understand about the vector search function, though, is that any filters that you might have in like the outer part of the query will apply after vector search does its thing. Not before, and not during, after. Inside vector search, you have to specify the top n number of similar vectors that you want it to return first. And then your where clause might filter those results out. So if your filter eliminates like a lot of the results that the top n similarity thing finds, you might get way fewer rows than you expected back, which might be fine for some searches, right? That might be totally okay, right? You might be like, give me the top 10, then I got to weed them out a little bit, or give me the top 100, then I got to weed them out a little bit. But sometimes if you are expecting to, like, you know, get back a top 10 or a top 5 or anything like that, you might need to put a much larger top number in here in order to get those rows out, right? In order to get that number out. And it's really hard to sort of predict that ahead of time. So you might have to do a lot more work to, like, you know, like say I want the top 10, or like I say I want like the top 5,000 or 10,000 here, and then apply whatever search stuff, and then still, you know, give you this back. Like, I don't know. It's a real weird situation in there. But if you're using filtered searches, use a larger top n to account for filtering. You know, again, you want to create separate embedding tables by, you know, like by category, so that, you know, you can, you know, sort of manage them separately and differently. Or if, you know, you're not going to go the vector index route, if you're not like in, you know, just like get down with the preview feature sickness, you know, right now you can just use the vector distance function. You can get exact search, but which is, you know, and still you can still filter on that, but, you know, it's just slower because there's no, like, it can't take advantage of an index. So anyway, that's about good here. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. I hope you learned something. I hope you will buy my wonderful course, Get AI Ready with Erik, and I will see you next time. All right, goodbye.